I moved to Vilnius a couple of months ago and have gotten used to living in a new country. All BAA training ATPL students stay here for at least 9 months during ground school. So what's it like living here in Lithuania and how much does it cost? Let me start off by saying that I've really enjoyed my stay in Vilnius so far, even though lockdowns and restrictions have meant that I couldn't go and explore the city as much as I would have wanted to. But Vilnius is definitely worth a visit, and there's loads of nice places to hang out in the old town. One advantage of being in Lithuania is that the prices here aren't that high, especially compared to Western Europe. I have a list of groceries here, so you can check out the relevant items yourself, but food won't break the bank. Going out eating can be affordable as well. A meal at McDonald's for around €5 and at a proper restaurant for around €10 is definitely doable. And like I said in my video about quarantining in Lithuania, food and grocery delivery services work great, so living within walking distance of the supermarket isn't even a strict necessity. The public transportation network works and is fairly cheap as well. And if you need to get somewhere quick and easy, Bolt and Uber are also available. And if you need a car yourself, there's this great car sharing app called CityBee. They have really affordable fares and it's really useful to just rent a car for a couple of trips in the beginning, especially if you're buying loads and bulky items. So let's talk about accommodation now. Right next to BAA training is the Loop Hotel, which does offer long-term rooms as well. They are, however, a bit pricey at around €750 per month. But it is a great option to stay in whilst searching for an apartment in the beginning of training. Speaking of apartments, all students that I've met so far have rented an apartment either alone or together with a colleague. There's currently no lack of available apartments, and in my admittedly limited experience in searching for apartments in Vilnius, I'd say that there is something at every price point. There are apartments that are really cheap, so living here is almost possible for everyone. However, you do get what you pay for. So I suggest spending a bit more money to get a place you really like staying in. A rent of €200 to €300 per person per month if you're renting together with a colleague is doable. If you want to live alone, you of course have to spend a bit more, but around €400 you can already get really nice apartments. And having a nice apartment was really important for me since we had a lot of virtual training at the start. So having a nice place I actually liked staying in and liked working in was a really important thing. Which brings me to my apartment. Now, because of restrictions in place when I started training, I wasn't actually able to go to Lithuania to look at apartments. So I asked BAA training for assistance, and my manager, Egle, she told me about Fontanu Namai. Fontanu Namai is about 15 minutes by foot from the academy. There's also a direct bus line into the city, and there's also a stop close to BAA training, so on those cold and wet days I like to just hop on the bus for a few stations. There's also a small grocery store in the building which has all the essentials, but I order most of my food online anyway. The apartments here are all in pretty good condition because most of the buildings are only a couple of years old, and the prices of rent are okay as well, although probably a bit above average. There's a nice outdoor area as well, with a volleyball court and some workout equipment, which is especially nice in the warmer months. There is one huge advantage of living here. A majority of students, in my group 6 out of 9, rent an apartment in Fontanu Namai, which is really nice if you want somebody to hang out with or to study with. All I have to do is go out my apartment, go down a few doors, and I have somebody to study with. That's the main reason why I really enjoy living here. My apartment is 31 square meters and I pay 450 euros per month, including utilities and high-speed internet, which is an okay price in my opinion. The apartment also seems larger than it is, and by now I really like living here, although my first impression wasn't as great. The apartment wasn't cleaned very well and there was a lot of stuff missing, but after complaining I got everything I needed. I also bought some stuff from IKEA to make the place look a bit less empty and create more storage space. I'll give you a quick tour. Alright, let's start off right here. In the kitchen I have everything I need really. Little fridge, little oven, microwave and a stove. And then if we turn around, this is the living room with a nice couch and a table. And I can also go outside here onto the balcony. And I don't do it very often at the moment because it's cold and wet, but it's nice when it's a bit warmer. And then if we go back again, back here is where my bed and my desk is. And I bought this desk actually at IKEA because I didn't want to sit where I would be eating all the time. So I spent a lot of hours during virtual training here. And then if we go out here, this is the bathroom, and I also have a washing machine and a very small shower. And that's already the end of the tour. Like I said, it's small, but it's nice. I enjoy staying here. All in all, I can really recommend renting a place here. I think it's the best option available for BAA training cadets. That's it for this video. As always, if you have any questions or feedback, just leave a comment down below. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.